Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Roger Johnson and Nina Warhurst.
Morning, our headlines today. A brilliant night for England as they thrash Ukraine in Rome and move into the semi-finals of the Euros.
It's been a long year for everybody, and I'm chuffed that the two performances we've put on have brought so much enjoyment and happiness to people.
A Saturday night to celebrate for fans, with England now one game away from their first major final since 1966.
Can't believe it, we're up at Moon, absolutely brilliant, they've played amazing.
Also this morning, the Health Secretary, Sajid Javid, says there's a strong argument that removing coronavirus restrictions will improve the country's health.
Shocking levels of violence and abuse against shop workers. Retail bosses asked the Prime Minister for help.
And a British star is born at Wimbledon as 18-year-old Emma Raducanu reaches the fourth round after a straight sets win against world number 45, Sorana Castilla.
And whilst there'll be a bit of sunshine at times for many of you and a few staying dry, big thunderstorms around again, torrential downpours in places, and there's something windier on the way through tomorrow. I'll have the details here on Breakfast.
It's Sunday the 4th of July. Our top story this morning, England's footballers are through to their first semi-final at the Euros for 25 years after a decisive 4-0 win over Ukraine in Rome last night.
Gareth Southgate's side will now head home to Wembley to face Denmark in the last four on Wednesday. Our sports correspondent Natalie Perks rounds up the action from the Italian capital.
My head is telling me to calm down, but my heart is getting carried away, and long may that continue.
What's that feeling, England fans? Optimism or just pure, unbridled joy? Either way, it feels good to be in the semis of the Euros for the first time since '96.
It's fabulous. I suppose it's still sinking in a bit. You know, we're in another semi-final. It's 3 in 3 years. But uppermost in my mind again, we've obviously want to go the steps further.
We're looking confident out there, so hopefully we can continue that. The job ain't done yet, we've got a lot more football to play, but like I said, we're on the right track.
This was England's first match away from the comfort blanket of Wembley. The heat at times made it feel like the blanket was still on, but it didn't stop England from getting off to a blistering start.
Sterling's got it through to Kane now, and Harry Kane has found the net. Well, that didn't take long.
Just look what it meant to the captain, his second in as many games. The England cavalry kept coming. Sterling, a constant threat. Declan Rice with the rebound shot that got Gareth off his seat. There were a couple of wobbly moments at the back. A second goal would certainly calm the nerves.
And there's Maguire! Just what England wanted.
The fans affectionately dub him Slabhead for his heading ability. Maguire cemented England's lead. The pressure was on. Luke Shaw didn't stop harrying, and the ball for Harry Kane was sublime.
Ukraine blown away. England on their way.
That was 2 goals inside 4 minutes, but the fans who'd come from all over Europe wanted more. Jordan Henderson duly obliged.
With the corner, there's another one.
His first goal after 62 caps was England's fourth of the night. It wrapped up a victory that in truth was never in doubt.
We don't stop here. We've got another big game coming up, and we want to go further this time than we did at the World Cup. So, no, of course, it's a great feeling to win here, and the way that we've done it as well shows the big progress that we're making as a country. So, no, long may the improvement continue.
England-based fans couldn't come to Rome, but now football is coming home with 60,000 fans at Wembley on Wednesday. Natalie Perks, BBC News, Rome.
Right, let's go live to Rome this morning then. Saw some of the England fans who were lucky enough to be in the Olympic Stadium last night. Our correspondent Anna Holligan is there for us. And Anna, probably a few sore heads for some of them this morning.
And as they emerge from their beds, they might just wonder whether it was all a dream, because that scoreline surpassed even the greatest of English expectations last night. And here we are outside the Arc of Triumph and the Colosseum, where the gladiators used to do battle. And actually, England so overpowered Ukraine that as the fans were coming out of the Stadio Olimpico, they were telling us that they never expected this level of performance. And of course, Gareth Southgate, his cautious tactics have been vindicated with this performance and the fact that England will now go into the semi-final for the first time in 25 years. But of course, inside the stadium, it was England fans from across the EU that were representing and making sure the Three Lions roar could be heard inside, because those in the UK weren't allowed to travel. And in fact, the same goes the other way. So everyone who is here today won't be able to follow England back to Wembley for the game against Denmark on Wednesday, but they are definitely daring to dream now here in Rome and beyond, of course, that this might be the road to Wembley and eventually the final on the 11th of July.
Anna, thanks very much indeed. Anna Holligan there in Rome this morning. I dare say plenty of Italians in Rome daring to dream, of course, because Italy is still in the competition too.
What a night for those who were there, though. And although Gareth Southgate's side had plenty of people cheering them on inside Stadio Olimpico, many fans were unable to travel from England to the Italian capital because of COVID restrictions.
Yeah, so back home, many people, millions in fact, watched from their living rooms, from pubs, from sports clubs and from gardens, as Charlotte Gallagher reports.
Well, that didn't take long. One brings two for Harry Kane.
Ecstasy on the pitch and off. A goal just 4 minutes in, and England, well, they were just getting started. In beer gardens, bars and front rooms, millions of England supporters saw their dreams turn to reality.
Brilliant performance. Harry Kane, brilliant, clinical.
I guess 1-0 at work.
Yes.
Can't believe it. We're up at Moon. Absolutely brilliant. They've played amazing.
For those lucky enough to watch the match in Rome, the mood was electric.
England played terrific. Best performance I've seen this tournament so far. Great goals. Harry Kane is back. Can't wait for the semi-final.
It feels fantastic. How does it feel? It's amazing. Couldn't even have dreamt it.
It is coming home.
I hope so. It would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. It's coming home. It's coming home.
But no matter what country the fans were in, there was only one song on everyone's lips. And with such a stunning performance, fans were in the mood to party. Confidence, which as an England supporter takes a battering, is now building.
Yeah, brilliant evening. So impressive from the guys, and Harry Kane leading from the front, and we're not really used to that, but very comfortable, very comprehensive, never in doubt.
The atmosphere has been incredible. Like, we always knew it was going to be. England fans come out for the football. We can't wait for the game against the Danes on Wednesday night. Best of luck to the Danes, but we know we're going to beat them. We know that we're going to be in that final come next weekend, and we can't wait.
Wembley and the semi-final against Denmark now beckons. Is football finally coming home? Charlotte Gallagher, BBC News.
Isn't it? Don't say it. Don't even think it. It's 8 minutes past 6. In other news, the Health Secretary, Sajid Javid, says there is a compelling case that easing COVID restrictions will improve the country's health.
Yes, writing in the Mail on Sunday today, Mr Javid, who took over from Matt Hancock, of course, a week ago, said that England remains on track for a relaxation of the rules on July the 19th. Our political correspondent Chris Mason's got this report.
This is the new man at the Department of Health. He says that when he came off the phone last weekend, having been offered the job of Health Secretary by the Prime Minister, his teenage daughter said, sarcastically, "You won't have much to sort out then, Dad." A week into the job, he's making clear he wants to get rid of COVID restrictions in England quickly for the sake of people's health. He says England is on track for the final stage of unlocking later this month and adds, "We have to be honest with people about the fact that we cannot eliminate COVID. We also need to be clear that cases are going to rise significantly. We have to take a broad and balanced view. We are going to have to learn to accept the existence of COVID and find ways to cope with it, just as we already do with flu." He blames the rules imposed for more than a year now for causing what he describes as a shocking rise in domestic violence and a terrible impact on mental health. The government's expected to set out the broad direction of travel it hopes to follow in England in the next few days, with a shift away from rules and towards personal responsibility. Big decisions still have to be taken on, for instance, social distancing and masks. Chris Mason, BBC News.
See the headlines as they happen and watch BBC News live in the app and get the full story with bbc.co.uk/news. Follow the story for all the latest with BBC News.